always goes, and we are recording. All right, so where do we start from? Hello, Mike.
Eddie,
We're back to your house again.
thank you for coming always.
Thank you for accepting my invitation and inviting me to your home to have this conversation with you. Today's episode of Spotlight Mike. Thank you again for also accepting to be on Spotlight Mike. Today's episode is so much unscripted, off script.
I love it.
Yeah, because well, how are you doing though?
I've had a stressful day, but very good.
I'm so sorry about
Nigeria.
that. Nigeria is happening to us. Nigeria is literally happening to all of us. But thank God that we have an opportunity to sit and have this conversation. I know we were supposed to have it earlier today, but like you said, it's been the day.
Yeah.
But just moving straight to what's happening, speaking of Nigeria and stuff, it's been a roller coaster of a week on the news, on the international scene. Anytime I pick up my phone now, I'm always like on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, and CNN, Arise News. I'm trying to follow up what's happening in the world, which is part of what drove me to make sure that today was unscripted, because I want to know.
Interesting.
It's the same events basically, and I don't know how current you are, how much you've been following the events in the world and what's happening. But before we come back home in Nigeria, let's talk about US a little. Donald Trump is everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Literally everywhere. Of course, you know about the Venezuela thing. You know about what's happening in Iran. Iraq is already on his legs.
Yeah.
And then back home in the US, there's the whole ICE. That's immigration, customs enforcement people, homeland security, arresting illegal immigrants, but it's getting out of hand. 2 people have been shot. The recent one, it's all over the news. And if you watch CNN this morning, the protest has gotten bigger than what it was. It's a very big protest. People are actually done with them. But what's your take on this thing? Having such a leader like Trump as a US president, and I mean, what do you think on these things?
I mean, to be honest, at first, like, I think I was in US for my master's 2016, 17. So like at first, like, I was all, I hate Trump, I was a Democrat and all of that.
Yeah.
And then I always had this back and forth with my mom saying, because my mom loved him because, quote unquote, of course, he's a Christian.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So, but I was like, nah. But at the end of the day, I've come to realize that Trump is just a guy that wants to protect his country.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In his own mind, he is trying to do what is best for the country.
Yeah.
Now, as for the ICE thing in particular, right? Like, we can't lie that there's definitely like a lot of inflow of immigrants, like especially like undocumented.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, obviously you can look at it as like, okay, like, we need to help these people, but also Donald Trump needs to protect his country, his people. So I guess that's my.
Well, what do you think about it? Because some people have been shot dead that we know of, and it's the fact that people are harassed on the road and being made uncomfortable in their own home, and it's for you to spark a protest, then there's something wrong. And the people that are even killed are not even immigrants that you say, God forbid, but these are real American citizens that are being killed, like white Americans. And it makes you wonder, and then you listen to the Director of Homeland Security come out and address this, even the Vice President of the United States come out to address these issues when asked about these very tragic events. And then they are like, they try to find a way to justify why ICE is doing what they are doing. Meanwhile, we have camera there, there's video evidence that these people were on the wrong side of whatever they were doing in the name of carrying out their job. So it's to me, I'm still trying to understand the whole thing, because I get it, you want to defend your country, but where do you now draw the line as to where do you regulate this? Because they seem to be like mini gods in the US right now.
Yeah. So I would I would answer that by saying, well, like because of the state of the issue right now, I would suppose the, that's why they are using this method. So I'd say like if quote unquote if it was not like a pandemic, if I might use that word, they would have been like like what's the word now, less violent and all of that. But I also think I also want to point out the fact that yes, protests, but maybe if we do investigation, some of these protesters might be sponsored.
Are you sure? Because
yeah,
bro, because I'm watching this thing and I'm like, it's insane.
So like there was a video I saw that also like a guy came in like again wearing mask, same thing, tore like the flag, and then some guys like followed him and said like, who are you, like, oh no, like yes, you can come and protest, but don't tear the US flag.
Yeah.
So like like when you see things like that, so again, like obviously I'll say the number one reason why most people are protesting is because obviously some of these immigrants are like their friends, families, so obviously like they don't like that. But at the grand scheme of things, it's like, okay, like as they always say, like come through the right process. Yeah.
But still on the international scene now, let's say, okay, these immigrants are their friends and their families, but then people are being detached from their homes, parents are detached from their children, people are deported back to their countries. Now, even on the side of sports, you see that for instance, the World Cup, the next World Cup is going to be in US, Mexico, and Canada together. It already makes a lot of people uncomfortable to even reach America for the World Cup, because one thing is, to me, why I saw the problem, I didn't even look at it from your own side, is that people are actually not okay with the methods that ICE is using. It's too much, the force is too much, they are moving, the aggression is too much on people. There are better ways of actually getting rid of illegal immigrants, but then giving these people arms, just 47 days training, and you're giving them guns to move around the street. So that's really bad. So I get where you come from. The protest comes from the side of sentiment, attachment with the immigrants, people coming from other countries. But then on the other side of things, you now see the issue of the methods that the ICE agents have actually used to combat these things. It's so aggressive. It's so much. In fact, right now there's kind of a partial government shutdown in the US currently, that as we speak now, because of this issue, particularly the Congress and something that has to do with budget and stuff. But that's the issue. But that's what is happening in the US now. Why I started with this thing is because there's a protest in Iran. A huge protest in Iran, and this got Trump's attention. He went in there. He moved a big armada, like a ship, like a big armada is already like waiting to invade Iran because of this protest and everything. And he's supporting people that are protesting in the country and everything. But his house too, there's a protest. But what do you take? I know America's interest is important. Any president should look out for his country's national interest at first. But what do you think of this issue of the fact that somebody said, I read a comment and somebody said he's in everybody's business. Yeah, he doesn't know when to not press pause. At this point, he looks selfish and he's bullying his way into nations, using things like tariffs, sanctions, and all that. What do you think of that? Is it the best? I don't know. Like I said, it's gist. I don't know.
So before I answer, like I feel at this point I might be sounding like a Trump or like a pro-Trump.
Okay. Really? Freedom of speech. Yeah.
But yeah, so I would say like let's take a step back, right? So yes, currently we can look at that, or we can look at it that way right now, right? But then like a couple of years back, it was US and some other countries that were actually like like quote unquote like trying to make the world like a safe place.
Okay.
Exactly.
In quotes, okay.
Exactly. Right. So I mean, so it's this. I read the documentary, or I watched the documentary the other day, right? So it's like geopolitics or something like that, right? So it's like whatever happens in Iran, quote unquote, in a way affects the US.
Okay.
So that's why, whatever happens in Nigeria, Trump too is also in Nigeria, affects the US. So I can understand why, quote unquote, he's in everybody's business.
Okay.
So again, like they are considered the world power for a reason, and hence, so like try to,
exert their dominance. But is it by force to deal with these people? Because even China, even like the British Prime Minister had a meeting with the Chinese guys. Canada had a meeting, and then he's so upset. He's like, it's a very bad idea. It will be very dangerous if these people deal with these people, and so this makes me wonder. Won't you see it sort of as a bullying, like not his national interest, but would you agree with his approaches to try to relate with countries and try to be in everybody's business? And don't forget, his house is burning as well. Yeah.
So the way I say, right? So okay, let me ask you a question. So let's say it's the US that's basically maintaining the balance of the world.
Okay.
Quote unquote. From everything we've seen, there will definitely be a country, a world power doing that. So who would you actually rather have that? Sorry, which country, like, do you think would you rather have that? Is it Russia? Is it China? Because like definitely, like, there will be a country.
I don't know, Chapa. For me, definitely not the US of today. If I'm trying to be sentimental, personally, definitely not the US of today, because probably because of their president and his methods and his approach toward things and trying to. There's a difference to me personally. There's a difference. I want to be your friend. I don't want to be your friend and then tomorrow you say I want to go and visit XYZ or another friend of ours, and then I'm so upset with you because I have a problem with that guy. I now decide to deflate your tire. Or something, or lock your gates, or make life a living hell for you because you went to shake hands or something, whatever it is. I know that there are deals and everything. Or let's even that's friendship, but let's use it as business, for instance. You say, I'm doing business with you, but you're bullying me. I don't like the way you're treating me in the business. In as much as you're superior, but I don't want to work with you again. I choose to work with other people, and then you get upset. I mean, there are diplomatic ways of, but to me, his approach seems to be like, he's the most powerful man in the world, but he seems to use that excessively to just do whatever he wants to do. Yeah, so I mean
so like definitely I would definitely say that because he's a businessman. So obviously that's why he runs the country like a business. So obviously I guess like one can see that as a flaw, because like businessmen are like, like quote unquote ruthless. But then before him we had Biden,
who he openly downplays a lot. He calls him Sleepy Joe, even in the international stage. So you see, that's enough of Trump. Let's come back home. Let's come back home a little, because
good talk.
In Nigeria there's a lot happening, but let me hear from you. You mean you're aware of the insecurity issues we have in the country, the kidnappings in Kaduna. The fuel price just went up. I literally saw.
I actually know that.
Yeah. What was the experience of that?
No. So because my car has been in the. So I actually know that like, the fuel price has gone up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like my car's been in the.
Welcome to the. When you go to the filling station tomorrow, you
How
should
much
find
is it?
out. So fuel, I got fuel at about $8.90 yesterday, day before yesterday.
Okay.
And Dangote has increased the price of fuel, and then the price of fuel is going up. So I got fuel at the beginning of the week at $8.14.
Okay.
And then it got to $8.50, and then it got to $8.90. Like span of days. It's not even week things, like within 48 hours. So that's what's happening in the country. Price of fuel has gone back, and Nigeria. Once price of fuel goes up, every other thing goes up. And then you have the You have the issue of Tinubu, President Tinubu signing, having a deal with Turkey. I know there was a viral video of him falling down. Yeah, but what do you take? I mean, okay, let me just hear your general assessment of the Nigerian reality today for you as a Nigerian youth, as a father, as a worker, someone who earns a living. What's the reality for you like as a Nigerian today?
For me, honestly, it's a sad one, right? Because for some reason, like I still believe in Nigeria in the sense that like I know if Nigeria works, like we the youths of Nigeria or we the citizens of Nigeria would enjoy it a lot and the whole world. So like just seeing, as you said, our president, in the world stage falling. So it's like out of all the citizens in the world, is that sorry in Nigeria is that the best person to So yeah, so like for me it's just a sad one, and I always ask myself like like why aren't we together, or is it that like we're all okay with what's going on, or why aren't we protesting and but yeah, in general it's a sad one.
It's a sad reality.
It's a sad reality.
What do you think about the political scene, like the election things? A lot of governors, almost all the governors are getting to APC,
it's a shame.
And there's a lot happening. And then River State, you can see what happened with the FCT minister and the River State governor. Now the strike, the protest at the FCTA gate and all that. So that's how, like, today I want to make it unscripted. Just sit down, let's talk, like, where do we move forward? What do we do as young people? Like, what's your, I don't know if you have any story you want to share that will make you just sit down and realize, like, Nigeria is God.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I always think back to the days of, I know his former Labour Party,
Adam Shomole.
Okay. Like when like they were protesting, and I think change happened. And sorry, so like to just also connect to what you said, we everything happening in the political scene. I feel like this is just telling us that youths, this is our time, because really all the fathers and grandfathers are basically going to one party, meaning like
But even the youths are joining them.
Yeah, so I guess so. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, are you also joining them?
I'm very neutral.
Oh, okay.
No,
neutral. Yeah. So but the point being that we need another party to challenge them. Because if there's no opposition, then we're totally doomed. So for me, if everyone is going to one party, then that just shows me that there's a gap or there's an opportunity that we youths have to come up with a party, and we'll definitely defeat them.
Yeah, we need to actually step up our game as young people, like you said, because it's really, really sad how we tend to live in these realities every day. And on Thursday I did a recording of, I didn't write down my reflection for Thursday. I did a voice recording of just how you see what is happening in Anambra State.
Oh yes.
The IPOP thing, you see what's happening in River State. You see what's happening in the world. Where's our humanity? The protests, people losing their lives. I've never talked about Israel, Gaza, the wars that are going on. And then you wonder what is happening in the world. What's happening? Where do we come in as young people? What's our place in all these things? Why are our leaders? What's their game? What's their end game? Insecurity in the north, insecurity in different parts of the country in Nigeria. It's very scary. And then you think about it, do we really have a future in this country? Somebody said, a comment today, we are basically running a one-party system. The opposition party is not really, that's the word I use, the opposition party are not as united as That's the coalition.
Yeah.
The ADC, they're not as united as we think they should be, and there's not much faith in them at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
People are still hoping, just hoping. But speaking of, let's go to Anambra State. Anambra State, for instance, you see the whole IPOP thing. I don't know if you know what happened. Governor Soludo is trying to end the sit at home thing by IPOP. Asked people to go to work. Asked people to go to work on Monday this week. They refused.
Yeah.
They stayed back at home. And then the next day he shut down the markets. And then since people don't want to go, okay, and then no work. So he shuts down the market. And then there's a huge protest at the Niger Bridge, River Niger Bridge. So what I don't know, because personally for me it's like people are even the hip hop guys have come out to dare anybody to go to work again on Monday. So there's this conflict between the IPOP movement and the state governors policy.
Yeah.
So what's your take on this? I don't know.
Oh yeah, so I would say obviously IPOP, making people shut their businesses on Monday is definitely is definitely like not a good thing. But then obviously it would be a different case if the people are willingly to shut down their businesses on Monday for a cause. So like I don't agree with IPOP, like enforcing it.
Okay.
Right. And then now for Soludo, also like trying to like make them open their businesses on Monday. Right. So he should understand that again, democracy, like you were elected by these people. So like have a dialogue with them, ask them, okay, like is it the case that like that they are shutting down their businesses on Monday by choice? No, because so like the reason why I say that is there are a lot of people that actually believe in that cause.
That own these businesses as well, and they don't want
exactly. But then obviously there are also a lot of people that don't agree to it, and like shutting down their businesses on Monday makes them lose a whole lot of money. So like I feel like instead of like him trying to do what he's doing, like basically trying to fight with the masses, let him confront IPOP directly. Like why are you trying to like basically you are the governor of that state. Talk to IPOP, like let there be an agreement instead of trying to impose because again at the end of the day, if these people do open their shops on Monday, they get killed by IPOP.
They get
so
in trouble. They get in trouble. They get in trouble. But that's it for me, because it's a whole lot of events happening in the world and in our country, Nigeria, and you there's nothing new. I've come to realize that there's nothing new. It's all about a cycle of events. People are it's just this recycling of events. Politics is the same big story, business as usual, politicians doing what they have to do to maintain power, world powers bullying the smaller countries to maintain their stance, politicians not knowing the right approaches as to what to get, how to get things on when it comes to the masses. So to me, that's how I see it. But before we round up, before we call it a day, what do you think about when you try to look at this whole? Let's talk about security for a little bit. What do you think about this insecurity thing in the country? What do you make of it? To me, it's a complex issue. I had a conversation earlier. It's a very complex issue, and it's so much interwoven in the communities. And do you think that there's some kind of politics played with the whole thing? Do you think that there's some kind of, or the people are not just, or there's some kind of the masses, the community people conniving with the terrorists or whatever? What's your take on this insecurity in the country?
Yeah, I think I'll start by saying, I can't remember I think was it Abacha that said if insecurity lasts more than like
I think
like the government is so I mean so like I do understand like when you say even the communities can play a role, but if the government is against it, there wouldn't be any, yeah, so yeah.
So the political will is a problem.
Yeah.
But before we round up, before your final take on this, as a young Nigerian today, how have you been coping with the whole Nigerian reality, with the whole quote unquote hardship, the policies, NEPA taking people from Band B to A when without their permission, and fuel prices going up. Like you said, you just got your car back, so you soon get fuel. So prices of food in the markets, So what's the reality like for you? What has been the experience for you lately?
Oh yeah, so I mean, obviously it's been tough, but I would always say wherever I am, I'm a Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
So like like at the end of the day, it's just God's grace, like obviously every day I wake up, I have to work hard, no matter the challenges, So yeah, so I'll say it's been very tough, but like God is always guiding me, and like like even though through the challenges, you always like God always shows me opportunities, graces,
Yeah.
jobs,
That's the
projects.
fact that you have that faith and hope in God to help you navigate through the
definitely.
tough seas. But what would you advise a young Nigerian, let's say a young Nigerian man, because you're a father, you're a husband, you have a home. So imagine a young Nigerian boy like upcoming and everything, and then he's growing up in this reality that we are facing. What would you advise him, and how would you want him, tell him to get involved and make sure that he's not passive about what is going on? He needs to tell a story, like you accepting to sit behind the mic today, you deciding to come and have this conversation with us, no matter how short it is. It's you putting yourself out there, lending a voice, and a comment you make today in this video could encourage somebody else to stand up and do what they have to do. So what's the encouragement? What's that advice you give a young Nigerian boy, a younger Nigerian youth today?
Yeah, so I also so obviously first is God. When you wake up every day, you pray, and then the world is always going to be the world is going to the world will keep on getting tough. It's not going to get any easy.
Oh, okay.
So you can't say, oh, because the world is tough, or so every day you wake up, you pray first thing, and then you go outside and work hard.
Yeah.
Work your ass off, and eventually working hard and with God's grace, everything will be fine, no matter what is happening.
Yeah. That's nice. What about the elections? Are you planning on voting? Have you already have your piece? What do you anticipate about the coming elections, and what are your predictions? So, okay, you have to tell me who will win, but what's your anticipation for this next election? Already the drums are beating.
Well, at first I was still very hopeful, but like I just said also today, I heard like everybody's going to APC, so I'm still watching. I'm still going to vote, definitely. No matter what happens.
Yeah. We all have to vote at the end of the day.
At the end of the day,
we all have to do our part, because those votes matter. Those votes do count. That is why these politicians go the extra mile to ensure that, like somebody said, if the votes are not counting, then nobody steal your ballot box. So exactly. It shows you how important your votes are. But thank you so much for this.
Sorry, before you round up, how are you?
Well, I'm alive, thank God. Okay, now the spotlight is on me now.
Spotlight, yeah,
the spotlight is on me now. I'm actually good. I mean, this is just me trying to create a stage and trying to ensure that I do my part, bringing a lot of young people like you and me. We sit down from different walks of life. We have conversations and try to see how we share common interests, our differences. Like we've had a conversation today, and you're the first person I've had a conversation with that has been, especially with the case of Trump. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not really against Trump, even when I was trying to bait you to it. But I'm good, I'm great, and I'm happy with what I'm doing, and I hope that this conversation that we have here gets to change a lot of lives and motivate people to do the right thing, to stand up, to hustle, to be aware, to know what is happening in the country and globally. like I said, I said one time, it's not about sitting down and thinking that, oh, it's not happening to me.
Yeah.
If you're not paying rent today, one day you're going to pay rent. If you're not paying rent, one day you're going to buy a house or you're going to buy a car. Something I'm not trying, this me just trying not to say something bad is going to happen to you. I'm not talking about how life happens to people generally. So one way or the other, you're going to meet these realities one way or the other. And if you sit back and then you're not involved in whatever it is that you're not involved, or you're not aware of what is going in, when the shock waves come, you'll be surprised how hard it hits. But I'm good. I'm actually good. I'm great. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking.
Awesome.
Yeah, a lot of people have not asked me that. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming behind the spotlight, Mike. We look forward to having more conversations with you, and we hope that this episode today will encourage more people to try and get involved, drop comments, volunteer to come behind the mic, and it's open for anybody who wants to have a conversation, who wants to share their opinions, and who wants to speak and be involved. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, guys, so this is where we draw the curtains. Thank you so much. This is Mike. Mike is a good friend of mine. If you listen to the last episode, Nize, his wife, was the one, and Mike actually decided to join the conversation next. So next week, we're going to bring another incredible mind, another view, another perspective. It's just conversation. We sit down, we gist, and we get to know what we think and our views and opinions as to what is happening around the world. We don't know how far this will go. We don't know the narratives or what this will shape, but we all hope that it's for good and it's to create a better world and a better Nigeria. Click on the subscription button, the notification bell. Please subscribe. Please drop a comment, share this episode and this video to your friends, and let's try and create a community that looks forward and to working hard to achieve a better world and community. Mike, thank you so much. God bless you.
Amen.
God bless you guys, man. Thank you so much. Right.